Under casual observation, it's easy to think that Broadway is a haven of liberality, that anyone of any race, creed, gender, sex, or marginalized person will feel safe, welcome, and represented on the stage. And to a degree, for certain pockets of people, it has become so. The gay community has been welcome for quite a few decades now. Meanwhile, representation of every other letter of the LGBTQ community has been mostly omitted. Black people have had some representation, but it has mostly been marginalized to maybe a new show or two every year, or an August Wilson revival, or a revival of A Raisin in the Sun there, while most other races have barely been represented at all in a non-stereotype fashion. Instead of giving them new works so that they may have equal representation on stage, policies like colorblind casting are put into place so actors of color can at least get some work. So when it comes to the so-called liberality of Broadway, at least when it comes to the real decision makers, it's not as liberal as we may initially think. And it's too bad, because 66 years ago, Alice Childress could have challenged some of these prejudicial attitudes with her play Trouble in Mind. But it never got to Broadway. Until now. Hello and welcome to One Man's Opinion, where I review professional theater on Broadway, national tours, and across Connecticut. Today I will be discussing Alice Childress's Trouble in Mind, directed by Charles Randolph-Wright and currently running at American Airlines Theater through January 9th. In the playbill for Trouble in Mind, Roundabout Theater Company Artistic Director and CEO Todd Hames notes that the play has premiered off-Broadway in 1955 and was optioned for a Broadway transfer, but was canceled after Childress refused to make significant changes in the story to soften the themes of racism on the professional stage. Alas, the show didn't go forward. But now, for the first time, the play is getting its just due. Trouble in Mind follows Wiletta Mayer, played impeccably by LaChanze, an actress starring in a new Broadway play who has grown tired of the stereotypical mammy roles that black people get typecast in, performing in over-the-top, almost minstrel-style fashion. Breaking from the conditioning that she and her fellow black actors have been habituated with, she challenges the racist contexts of the new play they are working on. Challenging the play includes not only challenging the playwright, who isn't seen in the play, but the pretentious director, Al Manners, played by Michael Zegan, and the other black actors in the cast who either aren't ready to stand up to the prejudices imposed against them, or they are so conditioned by the culture they are in they don't want to stir the pot and maybe lose a job. Then there are the two white cast members who are mostly oblivious as to what the problem is. Overall, Trouble in Mind is excellent. The first act meanders a bit, trying to get its legs, establishing the relationships of the characters. There's some inkling as to where the conflict is heading, but once intermission came around, I was left wondering where the story was going to go. It's not until the second act that the drama and its themes really starts to land. Once it does, we are confronted with a genuine struggle for dignity and honesty of the human condition, particularly regarding what we individually define as equity versus what equity really is. That it doesn't end with giving people of color roles and a place on stage, but that the roles they play are genuine, that characters aren't cartoon caricatures of what white people envision black people being, and treating actors of color as equals on stage, as co-workers. The rest of the cast is great. Highlights include an excellent monologue by Chuck Cooper, who plays Sheldon Forrester, who recounts a time as a child when he witnessed a lynching, and a slightly underplayed but important relationship between Wiletta and Henry, an elderly white stage doorman played by Simon Jones. In all the drama that happens between her and the rest of the characters, their relationship is worth observing, as it may be the most important and significant one on stage. I won't go into detail about it because it should be gleaned for yourself as to what it means. The design is good. It does feel like a stage in the works for a new show. Emilio Sosa's costumes are wonderful and classy, particularly nice touches keeping the late 50s look. Overall, Trouble in Mind is an excellent play. It doesn't quite get its footing until the second act, but once it does, it not only shows how far we've come, but how far we still need to go. And well, that's one man's opinion of Alice Childress' Trouble in Mind, now playing at American Airlines Theater through January 9th. If you're interested in buying tickets, I'll leave a link to the website below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and keep a lookout for future reviews. My next review will be the Broadway production of Clyde's. So thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.